Have you ever wondered why INFJs, known for their profound empathy and insight, end up pushing away the very people they crave connection with? What if this behavior isn't just random, but a deeply rooted psychological paradox? Today, we challenge the notion that INFJs are simply cold or distant and ask, could they actually be their own worst enemy? Welcome to Psych IQ. In this video, we explore a controversial yet captivating topic, the hidden self-sabotage of INFJs. Grounded in Jordan Peterson's extensive research on personality and human behavior, we'll delve into the complexities of the INFJ psyche. We'll examine how a mix of deep introspection, overwhelming sensitivity, and a relentless pursuit of perfection leads INFJs to distance themselves from those they care about. Whether this tendency is a protective mechanism or a destructive habit, understanding its roots can pave the way for transformative personal growth and improved relationships. Today's discussion is not just about pointing out a problem. It's about empowering INFJs to recognize these patterns and learn strategies that foster healthier connections and greater self-compassion. For INFJs, the path toward meaningful relationships and personal fulfillment is riddled with internal conflicts and emotional battles. In this section, we delve into the multifaceted challenges that INFJs face, challenges that stem from deep-seated emotional overload, a pervasive fear of vulnerability, a paradoxical tendency toward isolation, and the overwhelming influence of societal expectations. Each of these factors creates a complex internal struggle that can impede personal growth and healthy connection. INFJs are uniquely sensitive souls who process the world with a depth that few can comprehend. Their heightened emotional awareness means that they are often overwhelmed by the myriad feelings they experience, both their own and those of the people around them. This constant barrage of emotions can lead to a state of chronic overload. Rather than simply feeling sad or stressed, INFJs might experience intense physical and psychological reactions. They may suffer from fatigue, headaches, or even digestive issues as their body attempts to cope with the relentless flow of emotions. This emotional intensity, while a source of profound empathy and creativity, can also create a dangerous tipping point. INFJs might find that they reach a moment when the accumulation of feelings feels too heavy to bear, causing them to withdraw from social interactions. The dilemma lies in their desire to connect deeply with others, yet the very intensity that fuels this need also drives them towards self-imposed isolation. In trying to shield themselves from the overwhelming tide of emotions, they risk losing the vital connections that give their lives meaning. At the core of the INFJ struggle is an acute fear of vulnerability. This fear is not unfounded. Exposing one's inner self, with all its intricacies and imperfections, can be daunting. For INFJs, vulnerability means risking rejection, judgment, or misunderstanding. They often carry a heavy internal burden, a belief that if their true self is seen, it might be met with criticism or even abandonment. This apprehension is frequently rooted in early experiences of invalidation or emotional neglect, where their deep sensitivity was seen as a weakness rather than a strength. As a result, INFJs adopt protective strategies to guard their inner world. They may keep others at arm's length or engage in superficial interactions to avoid the risk of being truly known. This defense mechanism, while offering temporary relief, ultimately prevents them from forming authentic, fulfilling relationships. The fear of vulnerability becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. By avoiding deep connection, they reinforce the belief that their emotions are too dangerous to share, further isolating them from potential support systems. The act of withdrawing for self-protection paradoxically intensifies the very pain it seeks to avoid. When INFJs choose isolation as a shield, they not only cut themselves off from the possibility of hurt, but also from the opportunity for healing and connection. This paradox creates a vicious cycle Each act of withdrawal deepens feelings of loneliness and regret. Over time, the isolation that was meant to be a sanctuary becomes a source of profound sorrow and self-criticism. This internal paradox is one of the most challenging aspects of the INFJ experience. While isolation may momentarily protect them from the perceived dangers of emotional exposure, it also stifles personal growth. The lack of external validation and meaningful interaction reinforces negative self-beliefs, often leading INFJs to wonder if their inability to connect is an inherent flaw. The cycle of isolation and regret, therefore, becomes not just a personal setback, but a significant barrier to self-improvement and emotional resilience. Another layer of complexity in the INFJ struggle is the pressure exerted by societal expectations. Modern culture often glorifies extroversion and overt emotional expression, leaving the introspective and reserved INFJ feeling out of place. From an early age, INFJs are conditioned to believe that strength lies in constant outward resilience and visible confidence, traits that contradict their naturally reflective and sensitive disposition. This societal bias not only amplifies feelings of alienation, but also forces INFJs to mask their true selves. The internal conflict between their authentic nature and the external demand to conform can lead to significant psychological distress. In an attempt to fit in, INFJs might suppress their natural inclinations, leading to an identity crisis and a persistent sense of inadequacy. The pressure to adapt to an extroverted ideal further compounds the internal struggle, making it increasingly difficult for INFJs to accept and celebrate their unique way of experiencing the world. In summary, the struggle within the INFJ psyche is a tapestry woven from threads of intense emotional overload, the fear of being vulnerable, the isolating effects of self-protection, and the relentless pressure to conform to societal norms. Each of these elements contributes to a complex and often painful internal landscape, one that demands understanding, compassion, and a commitment to personal growth. Recognizing these challenges is the first step toward breaking the cycle of self-sabotage and moving toward a more balanced, authentic life. Understanding this paradox is not about labeling INFJs as inherently flawed. Rather, it is an invitation to recognize and embrace the duality within. By acknowledging the pressures of cognitive overload, the sting of early emotional wounds, and the challenges imposed by societal expectations, INFJs can begin to reframe their internal narrative. In doing so, they unlock the potential to transform self-sabotaging tendencies into pathways for personal growth and deeper, more authentic relationships. This exploration encourages INFJs to see their complexity as a source of strength rather than a hindrance. With greater self-awareness, the skills to manage overthinking, and a willingness to challenge perfectionist ideals, INFJs can harness their natural gifts and turn them toward a more fulfilling, connected life. By delving into these multifaceted aspects of the INFJ experience, we uncover not only the challenges, but also the profound opportunities for transformation. Embracing the paradox means accepting that the journey towards self-understanding is both a struggle and a triumph, a path paved with the potential for genuine growth, connection, and self-compassion. Feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. How have you navigated the INFJ paradox in your own life or in your relationships? Let's continue the conversation and learn from one another's journeys toward greater self-awareness and authentic connection. The first step to overcoming self-sabotage is to cultivate deep self-awareness. By understanding their triggers and emotional patterns, INFJs can begin to see how their actions may be counterproductive. Journaling, meditation, and reflective practices can help INFJs identify the moments when they feel compelled to withdraw and explore the underlying reasons behind those impulses. Mindfulness techniques, such as deep breathing and guided meditation, can be powerful tools for managing emotional overload. These practices help INFJs remain present, reducing the tendency to ruminate on past hurts or future anxieties. Mindfulness creates space for more balanced responses, enabling INFJs to choose connection over isolation. Learning to embrace imperfection is essential for INFJs. Cognitive behavioral strategies can be employed to challenge the unrealistic standards they set for themselves. By reframing negative self-talk and accepting that flaws are part of the human experience, INFJs can begin to see vulnerability as a strength rather than a liability. While INFJs often push people away to protect themselves, setting clear, healthy boundaries can create a safe space for both themselves and others. This means learning to say no when necessary, as well as communicating needs and limits openly. Healthy boundaries are not about isolating oneself, but rather about ensuring that interactions are respectful and mutually beneficial. Therapy, particularly approaches that focus on cognitive and emotional processing, can be immensely beneficial. Working with a professional who understands the nuances of INFJ personality traits can help uncover deeply rooted fears and patterns of behavior. Group therapy or support groups with like-minded individuals can also provide a sense of belonging and validation. One of the most transformative steps for INFJs is learning to embrace vulnerability. This means taking small risks in opening up to trusted friends or loved ones. Vulnerability, when shared in a supportive environment, can lead to stronger, more authentic connections. Over time, this practice can dismantle the internal barriers that fuel self-sabotage. No one should have to navigate these challenges alone. INFJs can benefit greatly from cultivating a network of supportive friends, mentors, or online communities who understand their struggles. Sharing experiences and learning from others can foster a sense of solidarity and empower INFJs to overcome feelings of isolation. Drawing on Jordan Peterson's research, INFJs are encouraged to confront their shadow selves, the parts of their personality they might otherwise deny or repress. By integrating these aspects into a more cohesive self-concept, INFJs can break the cycle of self-sabotage. Peterson's emphasis on personal responsibility and the quest for meaning can serve as a roadmap for transforming internal conflict into personal strength. Personal growth is a journey, not a destination. For INFJs, continuous self-reflection and willingness to adapt are crucial. By acknowledging setbacks as part of the learning process, INFJs can gradually replace self-sabotaging behaviors with practices that promote long-term well-being and fulfillment. Techniques such as goal-setting, regular self-assessments, and celebrating small victories can contribute to a sustainable path of growth. In today's exploration, we've uncovered the intricate paradox of the INFJ personality, how a deep well of sensitivity, when combined with perfectionism and fear of vulnerability, can lead to patterns of self-sabotage. Drawing on Jordan Peterson's groundbreaking research, we have examined the ways in which INFJs inadvertently push people away and the inner conflicts that drive this behavior. From recognizing emotional overload and the impact of early experiences to understanding the neurobiological factors that amplify sensitivity, we've seen that self-isolation is not an inherent flaw, but a complex coping mechanism. However, by cultivating self-awareness, practicing mindfulness, challenging unrealistic standards, and embracing vulnerability, INFJs have the power to transform self-sabotage into self-empowerment. The journey toward personal growth involves learning to set healthy boundaries, seeking supportive communities, and integrating every part of oneself, even the shadow aspects. Through these efforts, INFJs can break free from the cycle of isolation and foster relationships that are both nurturing and authentic. Now it's your turn. We invite you to share your experiences and thoughts in the comments below. Are you an INFJ who has struggled with pushing people away? Or do you know someone who has? How have you navigated the challenges of vulnerability and self-sabotage? Your insights are invaluable to our community. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Psych IQ for more deep dives into personal development and the fascinating world of personality psychology. Explore our other videos to continue your journey towards understanding yourself and others better. Remember, transformation begins with self-awareness, and every step you take is a victory. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to reading your thoughts and engaging in a vibrant discussion on the INFJ paradox. Stay curious, stay mindful, and keep growing.